Alright guys, Brian here with VetteSource, down to our final day of teardown of our Formula 350 yellow gold car as we investigate how damaged our head gasket is here. What started out as a tune port injection, regasket, new fuel injectors, that kind of thing, has led me further down the rabbit hole in pursuit of correcting this chemical solution they put on mechanical error, or mechanical fault with the car, head gasket failure. But the good thing about it is we got farther down into this, I was able to realize this car, even though it's 32 years old, has never actually even been torn down or tore apart, so I was the first person to kind of get into it and take around with it. So a lot of the original pieces have still been here, which is good, and you know, some of the things that normally would be missing are there, so that's always good. If you missed some of the first part of the videos I did on this, I've got a link up there at the top of the video to the playlist that I started this on, and you can kind of see where I went with that. And if you haven't seen even this, really, to me, I like this color, this yellow gold Formula 350 that I've had here in the stable for a while. There's a playlist also at the top there, the video that shows you a little bit more information about this car. This is an original Texas car, never been out of Texas, so I've had it in the stable here for a few years, tinkering with it, using it for, you know, whatever I need to do with it. So what we're going to do today is our last and final step as we tear down to the short block. We're going to go ahead and remove our driver's side cylinder head, because that's the one that actually has our damage there. You can see where that gasket material sealer, the head gasket sealer, just kind of spooged out into the valley, which is very unattractive looking and not very good. Of course, then you've got a failure. I did, in between last video and this video, I went ahead and pulled the spark plugs, which I don't think they've ever been pulled out before as well. Most of them, 3 of the 4, actually looked pretty decent. They weren't too bad. That's number 4. I'm sorry, yeah. No, number 8. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Number 7. Odds on the left, Brian. Number 5. Number 3. And that actually, that ashy color, is kind of what you're looking for, not too wet. And then number 1, if you look at number 1, it's pretty fouled out. So number 1 being probably, let's see, let's take a look, just out of curiosity. Number 1, yes, number 1 is where a lot of that material came out right there. That's our number 1 intake port. So I'd be willing to bet that our problem was in that number 1 intake cylinder right there. That'd be number 1, number 3, number 5, and then number 7. These being your water jackets. So, yeah, I'd be willing to bet number 1 cylinder had the head gasket failure there. Hopefully, there's nothing extending down into the rings, but we're gonna go and tear this off real quick and see. Now, I went ahead and removed the bracket on the passenger side, the engine accessory bracket, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one in on the driver's side just because all the power steering stuff is hooked up to it, and I don't want to get too deep into it. So, to remove the head, though, there's 3 bolts that go into the head. You can see on this side too. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And it's got matching bolts on this side. There's 1 there. There's another one there up top. This one on bottom is a reverse Torx. And then there's another one buried. Where is it? It's in there. It's buried right there. There it is. So, this one, luckily, they actually left an opening in the bracket so you can get to it. And I've already pre-loosened these, so all I've got to do is take these out. And these will actually take the bolts out of the cylinder head. So I'll be able to get those out of there. And then the cylinder head will just come straight off. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I thought I pre-loosened it. As I lie to you guys. Let me put my wrench back on there again. See if I can get the wrench positioned correctly. And these bolts here are a T45, 2 T45s, a 15 millimeter on that stud, that safety or that reverse Torx stud, and then the T10 on that reverse Torx. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. Got that one loose there. And that one just wants to hold up because obviously it's never been out of here before. gonna get this out of here. And I will say, for being as old as it has, this car has actually treated me pretty good with everything coming out of here. Now, the trick is for me to get this out of here without dropping it. Let me grab my long, those pliers here. See if I can grab this. I'm gonna switch hands because I am right-handed, guys. So I don't want to lose this buried somewhere. There we go. All right. As I say, I don't want to lose it. There we go. All right, so there's that T45 bolt out of there. And we're going to come over here to this other one up top. Put it in here as we remember to keep our phone on airplane mode while we're doing this. Seems like every time I want to go and do a video, somebody wants to call me. So, let's get in here. Got that bolt loose. That T45 is out. And then here, we'll take our special tool here for that T10, and we'll go ahead and finish removing that stud. I already took the captive bolt off. You can see how long that is. Goes into the cylinder head, and I'll put that back on there so I don't lose anything. And then our 3 bolts are out of the cylinder head. You can see now I can actually move that bracket, so we're good. So what I'm gonna do real quick here is, now on the cylinder heads, you've got 17 cylinder head bolts and 8 more rocker arm bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these up. Leave those on there. And what we're doing here is we're just taking spring pressure off of these so we can move our rocker arms, not right, and there's our last one there. All right, and now I'm just going to go ahead and start getting to these bolts while I can, and you guys can travel along with me as I take them out and see why I loosen those up so I can get the head of that bolt in there. There's 2. There's 3. That one may not cooperate with me with the brake booster. The brake master cylinder in the way. That one won't cooperate either, so I'll have to get an extension for that one. Let's see. There's another one there. Let's see if this last one will go in here. Okay, there's that one. And let's turn this to the side real quick so I can get in here. Just does not want to go in there. Okay, let's try this one. And there's our water. Nope, coming out. Of course, I forgot to empty the block first, so I'm going to have a little mess to clean up there. Okay. At least the antifreeze looks really cool, really good. Okay, let me change my tool around, guys, and get in the right position, and I'll be right back with you to get the rest of these bolts out. Hang tight. Okay guys, back ready to get rid of these last few bolts in here. I had to break those loose off camera. I just couldn't get the angles right. So as you can see here, what I did is I shifted our rocker arms to the side so I can take these out, the push rods out individually. And of course, I'm just going to lay these over to the side in order so that I know which direction they go in there, or clean them up, because they're rather dirty. Yeah, there's 1, 2. A lot of times this isn't as important as other things, keeping them together in order, but I just like to keep everything back where it went original. There's number 4. There's number 5. And there's number 6. Number 7. And number 8. Okay. And that one, ooh, that's dirty. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and remove these head bolts out of here. So these are the last 2 here on this bottom section. These I'm not concerned about because I'm not reusing the head bolts on this one. I know you don't have to change them, but I'm just going to go ahead and change these out. Okay. So here's head bolt number 1. Here's head bolt number 2. But these are actually already loose. 3. Okay. So let's go ahead and take these out. There's 1 here. There's 2 there. There's 3 there. There is number 4 right here. Just doesn't want to come out of there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 9 tucked in that back corner. All right, now see if I can get the cylinder head lifted off one-handed. I doubt it, but we will try. I'm gonna kind of crack it loose in that corner there. So when you're going to get this off of here, it's attached in that corner. And of course, it's gonna stick. So let me go ahead and get this thing loose for you guys. I'll be back in a minute because I'll probably have to two-hand this anyway because it's heavy. So I'll be right back. Hang tight. All right, and there we have it. 1 cylinder head removed to show us that yes, I in fact have quite a mess in here I've got to work on. One thing I did forget about, I'm going to show you guys real quick, is there was this stud on the back holding our main engine wiring harness and the AIR pipe in place along the back of the motor. As you can see, there's not much real estate back here in this back corner, but you can see just looking at it, the water passages, looks like that one there. It's really not a terrible ridge in this motor for being as old as it is. It's actually pretty decent. I need to clean that cylinder up just a little bit though. And the forward cylinder looks, number 1 looks really nice still. It's a little bit of a ridge, but not much. This motor, by the way, guys, has 167,000 miles on it. Yep. But you can definitely see here that heaped up material is right out of where that water passage came out of that forward water jacket right there. And of course, now with the head off, you can see where all that material built up there, and that should not be there. And then on the bottom side of it, you can actually see that silver sealer. That's part of the gasket there, but you know, even this one has not, that's actually clogged up. You see that? That was actually That might have been part of the gasket, but it definitely is not something I recommend to use, again, for unless you just want to wring another few thousand miles out of the car and throw it away. Fine, go ahead, but this is something I'm going to have to clean up first. And then looking in here, I can tell you right now, this has got my OCD going crazy because I've got a lot to clean up in here. This is nastier than I could even see. I'm going to end up having to get back in here, clean the back of the block off. The firewall is filthy back in that corner. In fact, what I'm probably going to do, guys, is pull the brake booster out, the proportioning valve. That's going to be replaced anyway. When you see how dirty all it is back there, it just drives me crazy to see that. And it's really filthy. Yuck. Pull the wiring harness out this direction because it actually originates over here. So pull the top of the box off anyway because I got to replace the evaporator. So once I pull all this out of the way, I'll have more room to work with and then start reconstructing. So as you can see, I'm really close to the bottom of the rabbit hole in the burrow here with a big old mess on my hands. But that's okay. We will clean it up, and I'll try to include you guys as I'm doing some of the cleanup. I have the parts for it, but there's no way I can put this back together again looking this filthy. So stick with me. I probably won't have another video on this on Friday. I will probably detail me getting the 72 454 big block off the trailer and over to where it's temporary storage space until I can start working on that. So I'll definitely be back with you guys on Friday. Once again, if you stuck around with me at the end, I appreciate you tagging along as I dig into this car. And trust me, it's starting to look bad now, but you know, the old expression, you've got to tear things down to build them back up. So we will get into this next session, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys? All right, everybody have a good week. We'll talk to you then.